On today's episode, we're going to meet a new friend. Welcome back, everybody, to another Make Loud Monday. I promised last week that this would be a special Make Loud Monday, and I'm hopefully going to deliver on that promise by introducing you to my favorite present that the birthday monkey brought me. This late 1960s St. George 12-string guitar. Not sure what year it's from. Record keeping for this brand is not great, but the history of the brand is pretty interesting, so I will share what little I know about it with you. Apparently the brand was licensed for production in Japan between 1963 and 1967 by a family that owned a series of music stores in California and in the New York area. And apparently the ones that were delivered to New York had a script logo, and the ones that just have this icon on it, the crossed swords with the helmet, were delivered to California. So this one doesn't have a serial number stamped on it, just says made in Japan. 5-bolt neck. And it is the brand. I believe that Jack White has one of these that he plays. He plays a 6-string, not a 12-string version, I believe. And that one is somewhat sought after. This one didn't really generate a lot of interest on Reverb, except for from me, because I love weird stuff. And I think it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful sunburst finish. Look at that the 2 chrome instrument plates, or 3 of them actually, I guess, if you include that little circuit. The pick guard's in great shape. The pickups themselves are in great shape. The neck is nice and straight. The frets are good. The binding is great. There's a couple of dings on it, but if you were 60 and only had a couple of dings, I bet you'd count yourself lucky. And yeah, it's weird. Like, I kind of got it because I was shopping more with my eyes than with my ears. And I've never owned a 12-string electric before, but now I'm sure glad that I do. So and I got it for a song and a hard shell case. I feel like I stole it, to be honest. But I did, I did pay the agreed upon price. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of show it off a little bit. It's the limitations of this guitar are not going to be what you see. The limitations of my playing are probably going to be more evident. But I'm going to show off a little bit of what you can do with a 12-string guitar. If you've never had one and think, well, maybe that's not for me, I might just change your mind, because I cannot believe how many times I now reach for the 12-string, just to noodle with something, or to play a familiar riff and see how it sounds different, or just to see if the darn thing is still in tune. That is something that also has to happen with a 12-string guitar. So let me just give you just a little bit of a tour of the instrument itself. So I'm going to bring the camera a little closer and walk you through some of its controls and features. Okay, so hopefully now you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to try and keep it close and try to keep it in focus somewhat. So you see there's 2 knobs, one with a V on it is a volume, the tone knob, which is closer to the input jack. It just has a very simple 2-piece bridge. It is not adjustable for intonation, which you would think is a problem, but then if you ever actually tried to sit down and spend the time doing intonation on a 12-string guitar, you realize just tune it close and strum is a better approach. So I haven't missed the fact that it's that it's just a straight bar bridge. So we got a bridge, middle, and neck pickups. They are individually switchable, which you can see on the switches right here. And then it has also this circuit here that's labeled R and S, so rhythm and solo. Just making sure I'm telling you. Yeah. So solo is the down position and rhythm is the up position. In my experience, I have a Teisco that has the similar rhythm and solo settings, and the rhythm sounds like a very large dog barking into an empty garbage can. It's just nothing but woofiness, and it's totally unusable. On this guitar, which I'll show you in a little while, all of the circuits and all of the settings deliver usable sounds. So that's kind of a quick tour of the controls of the guitar. Now let's spend a little bit of time getting to know the different sounds. Okay, so we're just going to start by playing on the neck pickup by itself, and we'll just do a little riff that has some single notes and some strumming in it. So here we go. So really nice chimey sound. That's with the tone at about in the middle position. There's 5 markings on the knob, and it's like a witch's hat knob, and I put it on the middle marking. So if I turn the tone all the way up, it's a little bit different sound. Turn the tone all the way down. But even with the tone all the way down, there's still some brightness to it. So we'll leave it in the middle. Let's see. 1, 2. There we go. Hard to count to 2. So that's what it sounds like in that position. We'll leave it on the tone in the middle. We'll play that same riff again, this time with the middle pickup. So a little bit different. A little more throat there. That's with the neck pickup. Kind of a little bit of a narrower range with the middle pickup. Now let's try the bridge pickup. We're going to try that same riff one more time with the bridge pickup. So you can hear it's a little bit brighter, and if we turn the tone all the way up, so you can hear how it gets a little bit more chimey. And then the fact that they're individually switchable means you can add them together. So we'll put the tone back in the middle, and this time we'll turn on the bridge and the neck together. So you can see how it gets a little bit richer there. And we can play, you know, other different types of riffs here. I'll play a couple other ones that I enjoy hearing. So there's this one. So that's how that one sounds with the bridge and the neck on. We'll do neck and middle just to hear what that sounds like. So there's that. And this is all with it in the rhythm position. What happens when we switch it over to solo? Neck pickup only. And this is with the tone circuit in the solo position. So let's just do one of those same riffs that we've been playing. Rhythm with the solo. So I like the rhythm. I think it's got a lot more depth to it. And even if we go to the bridge pickup, that's in the rhythm position. That's solo, rhythm. Solo, rhythm. I like the rhythm circuit better, so I just kind of leave it up all the time. So those are kind of the options that you have on this, but there's all kinds of different tonal possibilities. And that's just playing clean. So I've got my usual setup here on the Yamaha modeling amp. Whenever I do my demos, 9 times out of 10 I just do them on the basement setting. But here, let's listen to it if we make it sound like the Vox. So this is no outboard effects, just a little bit of crunch in the amp settings. So. So you still can get, you know, even though you have some crunch in there, you can still get the character of the 12 string in those riffs. But life wouldn't be fun if all you had was just 2 different amp settings. So what we're going to do next is we're going to fiddle around with a couple of different pedal chains. So the first one we're going to do is some settings with some dirt pedals. So I'm going to take the camera over and show you what I got set up. Okay, so here's what we've got today. We've got the NSP Effects Beltsville Legend fuzz pedal at the start of the chain. A couple of other presents from the Birthday Monkey. So we've got the Mosky Silver Horse, which is a clone, and the Black Rat Distortion, which is a distortion pedal, as you could probably figure it out. And we got the Keeley Compressor, and then just to keep things tidy at the back there, we've got the NS2 Noise Suppressor. So we're going to just play through each of those pedals. I think just playing through them individually, not stacking them, is going to get the point across. But really what I want to showcase here is that You can have a lot of fun with a 12 string playing dirty, raunchy, loud, crunchy, and even possibly genuinely disturbing sounds. So don't think that you can only play like, Mr. Tambourine Man or the Birds and stuff like that. You can play whatever you want. So we're going to kind of go backwards along the chain because I want to leave the fuzz for last. So the first one we're going to engage is the Keeley compressor. So if we just play some chords. And we'll do it with all three pickups engaged on the rhythm circuit. So, and here we go. Keeley compressor. Possibly a little too loud. I'm going to turn the volume down just a bit. So you can get a lot of life out of this 12 string putting that compressor on there, which, I keep it, it's basically the same settings. Parity on the volume. I got the tone all the way up. Let's turn the tone somewhere in the middle. So we got the tone more in the middle now. So that's with a little bit of compression. Let's go with the Black Rat distortion. So for settings on that, I have to check. All right, so we got the filter most of the way up. That's sort of the tone shaping control. Distortion's at about 12 o'clock, and the volume's set for parity. A little bit of noise there from these single coils. But here we go. But still, if we go with some of the single note stuff. Yeah, I wish you were here listening to great crunchy me playing Pink Floyd badly, but I think it sounds great. And then you can, so here's another riff that I really enjoy playing, a Jane's Addiction song. So if we click it off, it's just... So maybe we'll come back to that. Let's listen to it now with the Silver Horse engaged. So we'll play that same Jane's Addiction riff. That. So yeah, for the Klon, we've got gain about halfway up. Tone is all the way up. So here, let's put the tone a little bit more. Tone right in the middle, and the output is just, again, right at parity. compared to it with the pedal off. So really not changing the tone that much, but with that little bit of overdrive gives it a lot more life. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I like that better than the Rat for this. All right, and now let's go to the most unruly pedal that I have here. We're going to leave the oscillator off because that you kind of have to do that in a musical context. But this is the Beltsville Legend, the fuzz pedal. Okay, and yeah, it's picking up a lot of noise if I'm not careful. So let's try that Jane's Addiction riff. Oh, that's fun. Sorry about that hum noise. I got the noise suppressor. It's not the pedal. It's the EMF that I get in this room here with 12,000 electronic appliances in it. Let's try some single note stuff. If we can tame that sound. So what's fun is that that's not an octave fuzz pedal. The octave is coming from the instrument itself. So you get an octave fuzz effect. I kind of really like that. I just have to figure out how to tame that hum that I'm getting. So let's turn that off so we don't have so much crazy noise. That's what we do for our dirt pedal section. Next, let's listen to some time-based effects. Okay, so here's going to be our signal chain. Not very elaborate. So we've got the Joyo Aquarius, which is our delay pedal. And we're going to go through a couple of different settings there. We'll do some reverse delay and just some basic delay settings, parameters. We've got the Joyo Atmosphere, which is kind of like a modulated reverb. So we can do some like echo verb and some shimmer there. And even just some basic simple plate settings. And then we have the JHS spring tank in the first position. We'll do that one first, which is just a basic spring reverb. So let's play with that. And we will, of course, still have a little bit of hum because I took the NS2 out of the loop. Maybe I probably should have left that in, but anyway. So I did have a little bit of the amps reverb setting on the previous bit on everything I played up until now, but I've turned that off. So all we've got just a little bit of overdrive here for volume from the amp, but it's still pretty much a clean signal. And so let's just play like a basic riff. And let's listen to that with some reverb on from the JHS Spring Tank. And again, this is all three pickups engaged, so we can do a little bit of shaping. We can put it just on the bridge pickup and use that solo circuit. Just to get, that different kind of sound there. Or put it back on rhythm and neck only. I the neck pickup on this guitar. I don't usually go for neck pickup on anything with 3 pickups or single coils, but this thing, I love it. All right, so that's a little bit of the JHS reverb setting. So let's shut that off, and let's go on to the Joyo Atmosphere. So this is another reverb pedal, modulated reverb pedal. We've got it on the plate setting right now. So let's listen to that. Nice long decay on that. I got the decay almost all the way up. That was just the neck pickup. We'll put all 3 pickups on, and now let's find another setting. Let's go for echo verb. I don't even know what the other settings are on this. The tone and modulation. I'm not going to fiddle with those. Just basically the program settings. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's got like a haunting sound to the back of it. Let's try it with the tone turned all the way down. And let's just go on that middle pickup. Yeah, you get a lot more of the decay on that. That's fun. That's cool. Let's try shimmer. This time we'll turn the tone all the way up instead of all the way down, and we'll go with all 3 pickups again. Whoops. One of the tricky things about playing a 12-string is you want to do as many downstrokes as possible even when single picking, so that you're hitting the octave string first. Sometimes if you don't do it, then you just end up hitting the string behind it. Or if you... So in upstrokes is going to sound like that. Downstroke sounds like that. So you want to try and get your downstrokes, and I keep on flubbing them or missing the higher pitched string. So... Yeah, I like how that brings the shimmer out. Turn the decay up even just a little bit more. Oh, that's fun. All right, now let's fuss with the delay pedal. So I've got it still set on reverse delay from an episode I did a little while ago. So let's start with that. I actually played through it a minute ago and it sounded really cool. So here we go. Gosh. 12-string and reverse delay. 2 weeks ago, I never would have imagined. Let's go with sorry, hard to read those things. So we got it on a tape delay setting now, just a basic tape delay setting. Turn the time up a little bit on that because that was really long. Yeah, delay sounds cool. Um, so that's some of the time-based effects. Now let's listen to some modulation effects. So we'll pull out maybe the flange, the chorus. I don't know if we're going to do the wah. Well, maybe we'll pull it out and see how it sounds. So up next we've got some modulation type effects. And the first one is the Boss Dimension DC2. It's basically a chorus pedal. Instead of having knobs, it has those buttons on the top. You can press one or two of them to combine different types of shaping effects. Then we have the Walrus Lillian, which is a phaser. It's also, you can do detune and vibrato also, but we're just going to focus on phasing. And then we have out here I can't even remember what brand it is. Just another inexpensive flanger that I picked up a little while back. So we'll play with that. So those are going to be the effects that we play with next. Okay, and this time I've taken all of the amp-based effects out. I can show you down here by my feet, but then you'd have to see my feet, and nobody wants that. So no reverb, no overdrive. I did turn the volume all the way back up on this. And we'll put the tone again in the middle for now. So let's listen to what the chorus is going to sound like on this 12 string. So that's without it. And now we'll engage the chorus. Oops. So it's subtle without with definitely prefer it with. It sounds a lot richer. If you end up doubling your tracks, you probably get a very similar type of effect to that. But I think that the chorus sounds really nice. Especially on the single note stuff. So, yeah, that's the chorus pedal. All right, let's listen to the phase pedal now. So it's on a fairly slow speed. In fact, maybe you can hear it. I can hear it in my headphones. So wow, wow. So here's how it would sound. We'll play that same riff. So you can hear the speed on it. We can even turn the rate down a little bit more if we want to. So this would be with the rate really low. It's nice. It's cool. Yeah, not as noticeable on the single note stuff, but it's nice on anything that's chordal or anything that you're going to just be playing the same note over and over again. It gives the motion. This is a trick that Van Halen used that made heavy metal not sound like crap. But just putting a little bit of that MXR Phase 90 on it just gave the lead lines with a single 6-string guitar player, it just made it sound so big. So that's that. Now let's turn on the flange here. Excuse me, and see what we can make of this. I don't know. Sounds a little too bloopy for my tastes, but maybe you like it, or maybe you just need to use a better flange pedal. This one, like I said, it's one that's fun to use, but I think it probably might be more musical when combined with other effects. So those are some modulation effects. Now I want to get out some weird pedals. So we're going to reset the pedal board, and we'll show you what we've got coming up next. Okay, so this is going to be our weird signal chain, and I'm not going to plug in this beast, because this is a video all its own. But I pulled pretty much everything else out of that section of my pedal collection. So we've got the EHX pitchfork, so that's just your pitch shifter. We're going to play with the EHX B9, which is an organ simulator, and then the Boss dynamic wah. That's going to be fun. All right, so again, a 12-string doesn't mean you have to just do things that people expect. Do what you want. Try stuff. Have fun. So we're going to start out using the pitchfork. And in case a 12-string wasn't enough, say you wanted a 24-string for some reason, I've got it in the dual mode octave. So it's going to play an octave above and an octave below. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So here's what you would get with that. That's really fun. I almost feel bad for the organ pedal having to come after that, because it really sounds a lot like an organ to me. Just the tracking on this is pretty good. As long as your guitar is pretty well in tune, it shouldn't get confused. And so the tracking is good, and then it's just playing above and below what it hears. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So for the B9 pedal, I've got it set on the cathedral organ, which is one of the 9 settings on it. And what has happened here? There we go. Sorry, I wasn't pressing the button hard enough. Okay, so now we've got it engaged. So let's hear what that sounds like. So if you wanted to know what it would sound like if your minister played the Pixies at your local church service, lots of other settings on this. Let's go up to the continental organ. Try it with just the neck pickup. That's really surprising that it gets a lot more upper register tonality. I guess that's maybe because it's improving the tracking. Yeah, it seems to get quieter when I engage the bridge pickup in addition. That's interesting. I'm sure that somebody with an understanding of electronics could tell me why that's happening. But who cares? Just flip switches and see what happens. That's the lesson here. So if we just go with a single pickup engagement. And that's with the tone knob turned all the way down. Takes a little bit of the shrill off of it. So I think that what's interesting is that the 12 string is giving the B9 pedal a lot more information to work with. I'd be curious to see how it sounds doing that on a 6 string, but I don't feel like unplugging more stuff. So we're just going to stay on topic here. All right, so now let's get to the place that I was afraid to go until I tried it out in a little bit of a sound check, which is the wah. So we've got the wah. This wah pedal has a lot of different settings on it. I don't really understand all of them, but this one is my favorite. Yep. Let's remember to turn that tone back up to about middle. That's just weird. I like it. I don't know what the hell I would do with it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'd probably keep playing it for an hour and a half. So there it is. I don't know whether you enjoyed any of that at all. Hopefully, if it wasn't musical, it was at least educational and gave you the courage to do two of the most important